Well, hello everybody. Thank you for clicking in, coming over and hanging out with us. This is an honor. I really appreciate all the wonderful people out there that's helped this channel grow and keeps the information moving along. It's very, very greatly appreciated. So today I've got an interesting video. This should be shared all around, and I want to go ahead and get to the video, but just let me ask you guys a couple of questions, and in the comment section, please let me know what you think. Have you ever noticed people they'll be in like bad relationships, whether it be in like platonic or monogamous, whatever. You'll see situations where they're really understanding and constantly like going back to that thing because the person that they're with doubles down on whatever was the reason for why they did what they did, whether it's right or not. In other words, if you keep telling the same lie, and these people start to believe it, and that's a real thing. That's a real phenomenon. Humans tend to be really forgiving people because it's what we are. And what happens in a situation whenever something doesn't seem quite right, if you're told the same thing over and over and over again, and that's all that you hear, the real thing starts to become further in the back, and that whole coping mechanism starts to kick in. And then after that, you're somewhat malleable, and that would be in so many situations, people that have jobs, that work certain jobs that their boss is really manipulative, or doing just bad things and constantly saying, well, oh, I'm going to do, I'll get this, and next thing you know, you find yourself just never getting anywhere. Well, what Klaus Schwab is about to say is going to, I guess, blow off the socks that are on your feet. So let me get to the video real quick, guys.
What type of stakeholders do we have? The constituencies.
Stakeholders, we have, if I look at our stakeholders, we have business, of course, as a very important audience, and we have politics, we have continuous partnerships with many governments around the world. And of course we have NGOs, we have trade unions, we have all those different parts.
Media, of course.
Media, of course, and very important experts and scientists and academia. Because if we are looking at the future, I think we should look at new solutions, and the new solutions will be very much driven by technological developments.
And we even have, you even have religious leaders, right?
We have religious leaders, we have social entrepreneurs, very important social entrepreneurs.
Okay, now you kind of see where I'm going with that whole spew for a second there. You've got the ability to constantly produce a message, and through media, through social media, which, media is in news and all that, then social media like your Instagrams and your TikToks and your Twitters, it can be very easily put into place where you can repeat the same lie over and over and over again, or the same whatever, whether it's the truth. That's why they don't want us to have anything of that. Don't they've snatched the microphone out of our hands, squeal, get it out of the hands. Because if we were able to work on those circumstances with just a third of their microphone, dude, it'd be pretty wild, because all you'd have to do is keep saying the truth, and eventually people would say, wait a minute. Which, through blockchain, like us being on this channel, you engaging with this channel, and then you talking to your people around you, it's a slow go process, but it's really working. When it comes to, my video yesterday is preparing you for the fact that the only way that we're going to win this whole thing and protecting ourselves is, through exposing what's really going on. We've got to just get people to understand what's really going on. That collective conscience will prevail, and it will be completely non-violent. It's just pretty much how you write the universe. But along the way, there's going to be some tough roads to go, and you're going to have to tighten down. And if you really want to make it successful, that means that there's certain things that we don't need to buy into, because that's what fuels that machine that goes against us. And you can see it's through, all the media. And they even said that he had scientists on their side. Excuse me. But scientists on their side being the fact that doesn't mean what they're going to say is exactly correct, but as long as they say it, and they say it enough. And they're going to have their version of science. They're going to give us what we deserve in science. So in other words, they're not going to be living under the same circumstances as some of the climate policies that'll be put into place, the food that we'll be eating, the religion that we take in. Do you know that when it comes to religion, you can look into this, and this is the real thing with the Open Society Foundation. The Open Society Foundation now has been handed over to George Soros' son, Alex Soros. But before that was even done, they actually the Open Society Foundation found it very lucrative to invest in certain kind of churches. And it'd be just like, it'd be an Emmanuel or be a, Christian. But what you've got to do is you've got to get you buy into a certain ideology, and then you start to twist it in. You have your implements that went to your college for your preaching, and what that does is it can falsely direct people in a direction that fits their narrative. We've seen this happen over here in the West, with the whole people, two men being able to get married and all that stuff. I think that if that was to be the case, that like, say for instance, the argument was whenever they wanted to have that same sex marriage was they wanted the same benefits as a regular couple, whatever. And so to me, they could have went a whole different route and said, okay, check this out, y'all. Christianity it doesn't work in their religion. So what we'll do is we'll have a situation where you can sign a contract. You'll have a ceremony and everything, but it's not based on you're forcing churches to do stuff that supposedly they don't want to do. Now, what would have happened if those churches said, okay, well, we don't want your tax benefits if that's what you're going to make us do? How long do you think that would have been a thing? Because then that would have, that could have backfired tremendously. But no, the churches bought into it. They didn't say anything. They just said, okay, well, we don't want to lose our freebies. And what happens there? What did that? The money did that. And this is what this is all about. It's all about moving money around. And by the way, CBDCs coming in and trying to come into play is another form of being able to control. And so all that stems to repeating things, getting people acclimated to being in a situation like that. But I wanted to show you that video on account of that. I thought that it was really important that they would get that out of the way real quick, because I want you to show that to other people and explain to them that when they say that they've got all these people helping them, doesn't mean that they're pushing you in the right direction. It just means that they're following their orders. They're on their side. There's no checks and balances when it comes to what's real and what isn't. And by the way, just to get people, I've talked about this before, but I need to get this out more, because there's so many people that are involved in what we're doing but don't even know this happened. In 2008, Obama was involved in executive order signing away the Smith-Munson Act, which would criminalize penalties to news organizations that propagandize United States citizens. It's not right to do anybody like that, but dang, please don't do it to us. But now it's legal. In other words, there's no real repercussion. What gets me is how they did that to Alex Jones. Except for the fact that they used some people to harass the parents of that tragedy. And they said that it was Alex Jones fans that did that. But something tells me that if that was the case, there was probably a manufactured situation so that they would have talking points during a lawsuit later on to try to silence this dude. Maybe. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching, and please spread that video out. This is very important that we get. This is where we need to focus a lot of our attention, because it's those people that's put into place who's up there right now supposedly running things. Very important. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share, and just let everybody know. Guys, I'm out. Thank you.